Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's the about 3:30 here, so we're an hour into the American trading day on Friday, the 5th of August, non-farm payroll day, and I'm quite sure that most of you will have seen that the American jobs number shot the lights out. It was a number much higher than expected, and unfortunately, good news is invariably reacted to bearishly, because it means that the Fed will be more hawkish on interest rates. And to that end, the market opened, the S&P opened down, but it's closed and moved and got crawled most of that back during the last few minutes. So on Vector S, the trends are all still up. But market is making a decision for us as we speak. So if we have a look at the S&P, that's the S&P, folks, moving up here into this zone of previous resistance, as you can see, and open down, and in fact gone right back to where it closed yesterday at 41.42 odd. If we have a look at the 4-hour chart, which I've got running here, there's the 4-hour chart, and that's just the price action with the 21 times 4-hour moving average on it. I've drawn this fairly obvious trend line. Always difficult to know where to draw it because of the spikes. There may have been no volume done on those spikes, and we came down. And although that's a 4-hour chart, it's tempting to think that it took 4 hours to fall. It didn't, folks. It fell in about 5 minutes, and we've now crawled a lot of that back. The old RSI, which I found quite useful on the 4-hour chart of the S&P. As you can see, the price was rising here, but the 14 times 4-hour was falling. And as I mentioned in a video the other day, trend line breaks on the RSI are exceptionally useful. And although it didn't give a great deal of advance warning here, the trend line invariably breaks on the RSI a couple of hours ahead of the price, although I didn't take any action there myself. So what have I been doing? Well, in terms of short-term trading, let's have a look. I couldn't resist that gap fill this afternoon, and I'm tempted to go short again now. In fact, if I wasn't making this video, I would have probably sold it underneath those lows. That looks to me as if that's an evening star candle pattern, but this is quite simple. Many people, I suppose, would have bought the break above the 5-minute high. That hasn't been that useful to me. I actually bought here. Market moved up, it pulled back a little bit, and then it broke up again, and it made a rising bottom on the 5-minute chart, and that's what some people call a 1, 2, 3. I believe that some people refer to it these days as a pocket pivot. Where they got that from, I don't know. Now, if we have a look at this, and we put up my dear friend Fibbo, and we go from the high to the low, we can see that bar the shouting, folks, that's a 78% retracement. So if you're of a bearish inclination, then shorting it at 41.50 would have been the great level. I'm quite sure my friend Larry Pacevatis would have been short at 41.50. He sells the level. If you want some confirmation, then selling at about 41.40 with the stop 10 points above. There's an awful lot of fresh air down below. Do I know it's going to be a winning trade? Of course I don't. Nobody knows what's going to happen next. All you can do, folks, is to try and engineer a high win for just a few ticks of risk. So let's see what happens this afternoon. But certainly, if we break down through this trend line, then we've probably got a pullback. Now, I'm not saying for a second that this rally is over, but we can easily pull back, even under the most bullish of circumstances. We can pull back to 39.60, 39.80 odd, somewhere between these two levels. Okay, so the front page of VectorVest, I've only got one position in the US, that's builders, and it's consolidating after a nice move up. I have been waiting for this decision point in the UK, and if we break up through these levels, and we'll pull back a little bit, I think, but if we break up through these levels, then I shall be adding to positions in the UK at the start of next week. And I've earmarked 4 stocks that I'm looking at for the start of next week. I haven't done anything more in the UK since the last video that I put up. I think that we're at a very important juncture here. If we can break up through these levels, then I think that this market can go quite a long way. This afternoon, I think that I'll be looking for a short trade here in a moment. So I hope that that's helped, or I hope it hasn't, at least it hasn't confused you a little bit. Major decision to be made by the market over the next couple of days at around this 4140 level. I think we'll probably pull back a little bit, whatever happens, as I say, down to that 39.50, 39.60 level. So for VectorVest members, I'll be going through this all in detail, right through the market, from stock indices, gold, and oil, and all the constituents of this market on Monday afternoon at 1:30. If you're not a VectorVest subscriber, folks, then if you just want to email me, david.paul@vectorvest.com, if you're interested, I'll send you a complimentary link. Have a great weekend, folks. Certainly in London here, it's got going to be a wonderful weekend. It's not too hot, but the sun is shining bright. And I took a walk in Kensington Gardens this morning at about 6:30, and it looked more like the Kalahari than Kensington. We need a drop of rain soon. Bye-bye now.